the Chang here with a quick product review on these M-Lok rail covers here that I got off of Amazon. But before we get into that, help us out with that algorithm. Give us a thumbs up on that video, click that subscribe button, and hit that bell notification icon off to the right to be notified of any new content that we might post. So, if you guys recognize this shotgun, this is the Stoeger M3000 that I've had a quote-unquote upgrade video series on. I'll put some of the cards there up here, or links in a card here up to the videos here. There's now 8 of them. I think there were originally 7. Last month I published a video on this Briley handguard and how much it was of a pain to actually put on. And notice there's a lot of openings here. Now, I like how thin the Briley handguard is, but I am concerned about having the recoil spring mechanism here exposed. Some people may find this this handguard too thin, so I wanted to explore options on M-Lok covers. And of course we have Magpul that has them, and then poking around Amazon and I found these. Now this one, no label, and don't know what brand it is. I bought it over a month and a half, 2 months ago, end of August. It is the first week of September now, so no, not end of August, almost end of July, I think, sorry. And I went back to look to see what the brand was, and the links have disappeared. So I would, if I could, put a link to these in the description, but these are still around. I don't know if you guys can see me talking about this one up here. I'll bring it down here. These here, the links are still around, so I'll put them in the description here. But I will be doing a video on spray painting this. I'm actually going to be videoing that next. So this serves 2 purposes. There's actually to kind of cover this to prevent spray from getting into the mechanism. And secondly, to kind of break up the color and the outline a little bit. So looks like they just snap in, and these just kind of hold on either side of the openings here. So I'm just going to snap one of these in here and see how well it works. So kind of zippers in, doesn't feel like it looks like you have to really get them lined up correctly. That's going to be too long, so let me flip this over, do one on the other side. All right, so there is a decent amount of coverage here. Get that pressed all the way to the rear. And it looks like you do have to line them up right in the center. Okay, so pretty easy to put on, fairly easy to take off. You can see if I dig my finger underneath here, they just pull out. So that's actually kind of a good deal. I might put some up here as well. So let me just throw this over here on this side. I don't care if the barrel actually gets paint on it. So you can see they're fitting in just fine. They tear out just fine. So if I can find out what the brand of these tan ones are, if I can find maybe the seller changed names, maybe relisted under a different product name on Amazon, I'll get that link in there. Now you have these, and just even looking from the outside of the packaging, they remind me of, I think Magpul had a product called the XTM, and they were Picatinny rail covers that you would snap together. So they kind of feel like that. Now, as you can see, there's definitely a difference. There's going to be a difference in height. So if you find that the Briley grip is too thin for you, maybe putting these on will help make the grip a little bit larger. Now, issue I find here is if I put one here, I can't put one here, just because the wings, I guess you would call them, are a little bit too wide. It does have a texture. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a texture right here. Actually might help with the grip. So I'm going to try maybe putting a set on each side. Now I'm pushing and pushing and it's not working, so maybe I'm doing something wrong. So Let me see if I can figure this out here. All right, so as you can see with the packaging, there's no directions or anything like that included with the packaging, but it looks like the centerpiece splits out. Then these push in. You guys can see that. Let me try that again. All right, these push in right here. And then the centerpiece pushes in, and there's little forks or little hooks on either side of the little tabs here that push out against the inside. So I'll push that hard, get that in there. Well, that's a decent texture. I'm actually kind of a fan. Let me put that in there. I'm gonna put it right up to there. I've got my light switch here, so I can't really get it up to here. I don't think I'm gonna put anything in here. If I'm motivated, maybe I'll cut one of these. All right, because it looks like I just cut them with scissors and then throw that in there. These tan ones have a little bit of texture as well, but not so much. Not as much as this. This is a really, really aggressive texture. So let me get it on this side. Oh, chimmer, sorry. Bumping the camera. If anything, so there's a little bit of interference here with that rail cover or that M-Lok hole cover. So let me see if I can get that shoved in. So I can still shove that in, but it's definitely not seating as well. And it is tight. I don't know if you guys can see that right there. That doesn't push in as far. I'm sure I could take a rubber mallet or something to get that hammered in. So let me get one more in here and kind of compare the two. All right. So I like the aggressive texture. It's actually not too wide. So what I might do is this. Let's come around this way here. So strip this one out. Let's get these reseated. Shoving those in as much as possible. Might have to use a pick or a flathead screwdriver there to get that to seat the way I want it to. Ooh, that was no good. So what I'm doing is I'm pushing down and then in, trying to get them the little latches or the hooks to sit right in here. So yeah, it's just popping out. So there's a little bit of interference here. I'll futz around with that later, but from a perspective, cosmetic perspective, and even just from a grip texture perspective, I actually really like that extra bit of width right around here. That grip texture on these, I think it's from Festakit. The ones with no labels. Well, they both had no labels, but this one just has this, right? Made in China. So, sorry, trying to make himself laugh. But yeah, I think I really like those, right? This is much more coverage, but I really want to get those tabs to lock in, because right now it's definitely not locked in, especially right over here. You see that corner, I could just pluck that right out. So I'll futz around with that off camera, but there you go. Hopefully, you know, this might help you make your decision about whether or not you want to shove these on any M-Lok holes that you're trying to cover. So there you go. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, help us out with that algorithm, hit that subscribe button and that bell notification icon off to the right, so that you can be notified of any other content that we might publish. Thank you so much for your time. Stay safe. We'll see you out on the range. All right, just a quick update before I go. Kind of figured it out here. I would lay these long flat ones. I just laid those long flat ones down and then put these over top. These will still click in because it's these things here kind of expanding into the, I guess, the sides here that pushes outwards, that holds everything in. So this will allow the tan piece to sit, and if I just push these in, right, they're kind of fitting, but I'm just going to use the back of my screwdriver as a hammer. How it gets them in. See, they don't pull out. So there you go. That's how I'm going to do these, and then I will got myself some scissors. I'm going to be cutting some and putting them in there. So there you go. Now the video's over.